They actually did it. They actually fired Matt Eberflus in the middle of the season. The Chicago Bears, after their loss to the Detroit Lions, fire Matt Eberflus. Tony, you texted me. I had no idea what was going on. Instant reaction. Oh, my goodness.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. It's officially Black Friday for Chicago Bears coaches. Yeah, he's gone. We're saved. I don't know if we're saved, but at least we're moving in the right direction. You had to do that for the state of the locker room, for the state of the franchise, for the state of Caleb Williams. Something. You had to do it, and they did it, finally.
Oh, my. I mean, Tony, so he went on this morning and talked to the media. Like, that's the even crazier part, is they actually let him talk to the media this morning. And during the media call, I know a lot of people are going to love this. During his media call for 9 minutes on Zoom, they're like, have you spoken to Kevin and Ryan Poles about this yet? He goes, yeah, no, we discussed it yesterday. We're just going to continue normal operations and keep things going. And I was like, oh, okay. That is not the case for the Chicago Bears head coach. He has been fired after a 14-32 record, 0-17 on Sunday away games, and also 3 6-game losing streaks in 2.5 years. Oh my gosh, chat, how are we feeling? Smash that like button if you're excited that Matt Eberflus has been canned. Tony's popping the zins right now. But Tony, when you saw the tweet go up, did you think it was clickbait?
I thankfully have notifications on. I've learned to only trust notifications from Schefter, from whatever. It was kind of a long tweet, though. It was like, for the first time in Chicago Bears history, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, there's no way this is it. And I had to open it to read the whole details. I can't believe Tom Pelissero was the official source accrediting. Schefter just passed it along. So shout out to him for being all over it. I can't believe they finally did it in season.
So this is the first time in Chicago Bears history that that a head coach has been fired in the middle of the season, which honestly I didn't think was ever going to happen. And you know what, Tony? I give myself a little bit of credit because I tweeted out about an hour ago, and I said if George McCaskey is a fan and not the owner of the Chicago Bears, he will make this firing in the beginning of the season or in the middle of the season. You know what? I'm convinced that he looks at our Twitter. I truly am convinced. I know Ryan Poles does. He says he looks at all the content creator stuff. But everybody right now in the chat, if you guys are excited if you're happy about Matt Eberflus being fired from the Chicago Bears, I want you guys to hit the like button on this video, along with commenting bear down in the comment section below and shoot, because I'm so happy. I'm going to give away 2 custom jerseys this week. All you got to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment bear down in the live chat right now. Tony, let's go a little bit more into Matt Eberflus in his overall coaching history as the Chicago Bears head coach. So 14-32 all time. He is the second worst winning percentage ever in Chicago Bears history, but only ahead of Abe Gringle or whatever back in the 1960s. And then John Fox now moves up to 3. So shout out to John Fox for moving up a spot. What do you think happened in this conversation with Flus? Do you think that he even tried to defend himself, or do you think he absolutely knew he was canned?
I bet he tried to defend himself, but what I bet he kind of trotted out the same line of thinking that he did in yesterday's press conference, where he was saying, well, hey, Caleb, basically, it's his fault. He's got to be ready for that. We got to work on it. We got to practice it. And I'm sure they were like, all right, Mr. Head Coach, Mr. In charge of literally everything. It is your job to be a mini warlord over that organization and decide every single thing, at least on field. And I don't know. Maybe McCaskey was buying it all year. He is a fan. He's not necessarily, he is a football guy, but hopefully, finally, Ryan Poles, they let the leash off Ryan Poles. I bet there was some stuff with him, Kevin Warren, whatever, stopping them from doing it earlier. I hope Ryan Poles was finally just pounded the table and said, hey, this is my job too, on the line. We have to make a decision. We are ruining Caleb Williams. We're ruining Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown has only been in a couple only been in a couple of games as offensive coordinator. Like he was dragging us down to the depths. So I bet he tried that. Yeah, the process is the process. We're working on the process. We have a process in place. And it was like, all right, man, well, 6 straight weeks of your process failing. Yada here.
Yeah, I mean, like, so Thomas Brown will become, first of all, Thomas Brown is the first ever assistant to be promoted 3 times in 1 year, and one of them being the head coach. So shout out to Thomas Brown for that, which I think it was a fantastic decision. Tony, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's go through Matt Eberflus's coaching record because of just how bad things got. I mean, first of all, the guy coached scared constantly. I want to go through exactly his coaching record. So Matt Eberflus is one of the worst coaches in NFL history, a 14-32 record all time, 3-19 on road games, 0-18 on Sunday away games. He has the 217th winning percentage out of 229 all-time head coaches. He's trailing at halftime. He's 5-22, 1 score games. He's 5-17 against the NFC North. He's 2-14, and against winning teams, he is 1-14. That is absolutely horrendous. I mean, Tony, instant reaction in chat. I want to hear your guys' thoughts too in the chat right now about this reaction. I love how everyone was like, is this real? Is this really happening? It's really freaking happening. And we're going to go through who got promoted to interim head coach in just a minute. But Tony, what are your thoughts?
The worst part about all of those stats and like how it has all happened is it's not like it's a bunch of little nitpicky decisions where, you know, we're arguing on Bears Twitter amongst ourselves. Like, was it the right call? Was it this? Was it that? It was just blatantly obvious, incompetent decisions. It was just every single Bears fan in the universe staring at their TV, for example, yesterday, timeout, and he's the only one in the known universe being like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm calling a timeout here. So it's just that over and over and over, and that is what 100% what those numbers show is just incompetence. That is the worst part, and that is the worst thing you could have for a head coach. It's one thing to just be not good at your job. It's another thing to just be inept and just unable to perform the task. So the numbers are shocking, that only because they should have fired him earlier, obviously. I I don't know. Every time I hear them, it's always just like oh my gosh, like what a stupid franchise at times. How do we keep him around so long?
I mean, like, he did go 5-3 in his last 8 games last year, but like, good Lord. Guys, also, I want to see, this is a Black Friday gift from the Chicago Bears. This is showing the Bears too that they went ahead and just said, listen, it's time for change. It's time to get things going. It's time to, Caleb Williams is the future of this franchise. He needed to make things right. Thomas Brown is more of a head coach than anybody. And there was a tweet out by Zach Pearson earlier that at Hallis Hall today, players and coaches and staff were saying it feels like a funeral home around here. No one wants to be here. No one's having fun playing football anymore. It is just out of control. And it freaking happened. The Bears finally did it. And this is the earliest Christmas gift you could ever ask for. I mean, Tony, what are your thoughts? Was there ever a moment where you thought during the season when the Bears were 4-2, they were 4-2 at one point? What did you think this Bears team was actually going to do something, or did you see something like this happening?
I did, and it wasn't like, wow, Eberflus has figured out how to coach. It was always the Caleb Williams effect. I thought, maybe Shane Waldron had turned it around at the time because they had that players only that players meeting where everyone stepped up and just pointed a finger in his face and said, fix it. And he did for a game, but then he didn't. So that was so the Washington game was one where it was like, oh, okay, sucks. It absolutely sucks. Maybe we'll fix it going forward. And we just didn't. And that was probably the true nail in the coffin, because it's not about, hitting one bad note. It's about what you do on the next note, as the great, I think it was Miles Davis once said. So he absolutely just played all the wrong notes after that, and he did it to himself. That's That's the part that I could take solace in. It sucks, if you're looking at it from a personal standpoint, it's another man's job, whatever. But man, he did himself no favors. Just made what felt like no effort to fix anything that we were all yelling about. Not just us, but clearly the players in the locker room. DJ Moore every week being either saying no comment or giving quite the comment. I know he gave a comment yesterday too. Yeah, I'm filled with joy because I do think even we're not going to make the playoffs this year. Season's over still. Thanks, Matt Eberflus. But it feels like hopefully we're going to go in the right direction now.
Okay, chat. We got 552 people in here celebrating the firing of Matt Eberflus. And, you never wish anything on anyone, but the fact that this guy was blaming everyone but himself, it was absolutely pathetic. So just want to confirm, Tony, can you confirm the source of where we heard this news from?
So Adam Schefter, through Twitter notifications, so not just scrolling along. It wasn't Adam Schefter, it was Schefter. But then the NFL, the @NFL account verified with the little gold check mark, said via Rap Sheet and Tom Pelissero as well that the Bears have parted ways with head coach Matt Eberflus.
I know what's funny is that I made the thumbnail that's up right now. I made what's going on Instagram right now all this morning because I was like, guys, it's happening today. And it freaking happened. And you know what? Shout out to Ryan Poles. Shout out to Kevin Warren for getting everything across and saying to George McCaskey, this has to happen. You don't understand. You are going to lose your locker room of a team that we built 2.5 years of building for. This team, none of the captains wanted. The only captain that went up to Matt Eberflus yesterday was Jalen Johnson. And that's because Jalen Johnson arguably is a very classy guy. Just want to put out there. I really like Jalen Johnson. I think that how he's handled everything, being the leader of this team, just overall done a fantastic job. So Matt Eberflus, it is official. He has been fired. And you know what, Tony? I'm going to hit you with a little note. Hit the road, Matt, and don't you come back no more. No, I'm going to be blasting that song all day long today. All right, but I know it's Hit the Road, Jack. I wish Matt Eberflus' name was Jack just for that reason. Would be fantastic. But Tony, chat, here's what I want to hear. And, this is the big news that I want to go through with this, is that it has been confirmed that Thomas Brown will be taking over as head coach for the Chicago Bears for the rest of the season. 5 weeks ago, Thomas Brown was the assistant pass game coordinator for the Chicago Bears. He then was promoted to offensive coordinator. Over the last 3 weeks, he has averaged over 350 yards of offense and has only lost by 7 points during this time. On top of that, too, Thomas Brown has gotten Caleb Williams to break 3 different individual records. Things are just positive for this team right now. And Thomas Brown taking over, he was the assistant head coach for when the Rams won the Super Bowl back in 2021 under Sean McVay. And a lot of people had him becoming a head coach anyway after this last season, potentially after this season. Tony, this is a tryout for him now, because if he could get things going, there's 2 things I want to say to you. I want to ask the chat how they feel about this too. But Tony, I'm going to ask you first. Thomas Brown gets his tryout. Let's say the Bears still lose every single game, but it's like by 1 point or 3 points. Just tanking to get a better pick. Do you take that, or do you want Thomas Brown to go out and win the rest of the ball games this year?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's tough. I know probably the right answer is because the season is over, you should prioritize draft picks, but man, I'm sick of losing. Just from a meatball fan standpoint, just a lifelong Bears fan who has seen 3 true winning seasons, I guess. Dating back to the Hester Super Bowl return, the double doink, etc. I just win a couple of games, beat the Packers. You know what? I think that's my official stance. Don't care what happens the next 4 games. Beat the Packers in Green Bay. Job for life, Thomas Brown. Not actually, but I'm fine with that. Beat the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do it. I mean, I respect that the Bears are giving him the opportunity because he has proven more in 3 games than Matt Eberflus has proven in 2.5 seasons as the Bears head coach. I truly think that he has done a fantastic job. at getting this thing on the right direction, getting people excited. And overall, Thomas Brown, I think, is the guy. I just want to quickly go through. This is a crazy stat that I want to say. During Matt Eberflus's time as the Chicago Bears head coach, it cost the Bears $13.32, $800 an hour, $20,000 per day, $135,000 a week, and $584,000 a month during the Bears, his time as the Chicago Bears head coach. I mean, this also does fall on the McCaskies. This 100% falls on the McCaskies, and I want to break down a little bit more why. Is because of the fact that they chose Matt Eberflus before Ryan Poles was the general manager. They chose to have him become the head coach of the Bears before your general manager. And now, here's what I love. This could be Ryan Poles playing complete chess. Call me a conspiracy theorist. Call me crazy. Ryan Poles helped select Shane Waldron as the offensive coordinator. But really, Ryan Poles wanted to bring in Thomas Brown as the offensive coordinator because that's a guy he knew with the offense that he built would perform well. So Shane Waldron was just a scapegoat. Thomas Brown, who was on the Carolina Panthers last year, everyone in Chicago would burn the city down. Why would you hire the Panthers offensive coordinator? Keep him under, then move him up, and then now he's the head coach. I don't know, Tony, call me crazy. Anything's possible in the NFL, but Ryan Poles has played chess a lot during his time as the Bears general manager. Could be a possibility. Just
so you're saying, so in a game of chess, he's sacrificing a pawn and a knight just to checkmate the king. That's what you're saying. The king, George McCaskey, make yes. him make his guy head coach. Okay, yeah, yes. Crazier things have happened. We've definitely seen around the NFL for sure, and honestly in the Bears organization. So, I'm happy. Shout out Thomas Brown. I don't want to take anything away from obviously the great job he's done too, but really speaks to the fact of, hey, when someone in front of you steps aside, when they step out of line, you step up, buddy, and you just keep moving till you're at the front of the line. And he has absolutely deserved it of anyone on this coaching staff, and I'm happy for him. You know, I think I've said it a couple times, but I think good times are ahead. We'll see. It's gonna be funny to look back on if it doesn't happen, but I think good times are ahead.
I really do. I have to agree with you because at least this team will have someone with some pride behind them. That's the other thing too, is that Thomas Brown plays with a lot of pride, plays for what's better for this team. And Thomas Brown, I mean, you see him slamming the headphones down when he, every single time there's a big play. Tony, we talked about this yesterday, and I want you to kind of break down what you're thinking on it too, is that Thomas Brown yesterday had the best halftime adjustment out of any Bears head coach in general over the last 3 seasons. I mean, what he did against Detroit in the second half, scoring 20 points compared to their 7 and out yarding them 250 to 140. Pretty darn impressive, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It was, that's the part that hurts so much about, these past few games, but especially yesterday too, was we did everything. I didn't do anything. Caleb and Thomas Brown did everything they could to force the Bears to win that game, and Matt Eberflus still messed it up. So that's what I'm excited for. Just the fact that I'd like to think Thomas Brown would have called that timeout. I'd like to think Thomas Brown would have, ran one extra play to get in better field goal range, get on the left hash against the Packers. I'm officially excited for the Thomas Brown era. I think he is going to at least if we're trying to win games, if it isn't a direct order to tank, and even if it still is, I do think, like what you said, Nick, he has passion. He has passion for what he's doing. He is on a tryout. He's not going to be losing games on purpose.
It's 100% a tryout.
And it's just so much better than apathy, which is what it feels like we had with Eberflus. Apathy, scared, coaching scared. Just having someone that gives a damn, and the players respect. The players seem to respect the hell out of Thomas Brown, and that's even if they're just playing for him, whatever it may be. Oh man, I just excited for something else.
I mean, we got fans in every single fan base in here. The Lions are happy for us right now. Shout out to the Lions for supporting us. At the end of the day, Thomas Brown is the reason why the Chicago Bears were in all 3 of the last games. The Bears lost by a total of 7 points over the last 3 weeks. And that's because Thomas Brown's offense kept answering back from everything that's going on. And I just want to throw this up on the screen real quick, guys, is that I posted a video about this about an hour ago. So probably go watch this. Caleb Williams is a real deal video after this. But Caleb Williams has broken how many records? And almost all of them have been by the help of Thomas Brown. Most passing in a row without an interception by a rookie, 214. Most passing touchdown by a Bears rookie quarterback, 14. He's gotten 5 over the last 3 weeks. Most passing yards by a Bears rookie quarterback, 2,612. Most 300-yard games by a Chicago Bears rookie quarterback. He got his first one with Thomas Brown last week against the Vikings. And most 100-yard passer rating games by a rookie with 4, 3 of them under Thomas Brown. I mean, Thomas Brown as a new head coach definitely gets the job. I mean, like, he's already gotten a proven track record. And Tony and chat, I mean, look at the comparison. His first game as head coach or offensive coordinator for Caleb Williams, 231-yard against Packers with 74% of completion percentage and a 95 passer rating, over 300 yards total offense. You go to his stats against Minnesota, 340 passing yards against the number 4 defense in the NFL and a 103 passer rating. The only one other quarterback has done that against the Vikings this year, and that was Jared Goff. And then yesterday against the Lions, he was 15 for 24 in the second half. So take away that completion percentage. 256 yards, 200 of them coming in the second half, 39 rushing, 97.8 passer rating, the second highest passer rating against the Detroit defense. And he's only the second quarterback this year to have more than 2 passing touchdowns in a game against the Detroit offense. And that was all thanks to Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown has unlocked Caleb Williams, and who knows what he could do with the rest of the team just with his mojo.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I saw a couple people in the chat saying, why is Caleb getting a pass? Whatever. The reason he's getting a pass, quote unquote, is if you looked at just how they handled themselves in the media yesterday, Caleb basically fell on his sword. He was like, I'm not, he could have said, Matt Eberflus is a dum-dum. It's, this person's fault, that person's fault. He was just like, hey, man, that's on me. Like, I got, we whatever it may be, he took blame when he didn't have to, but that's a leader right there. He would rather bear that weight. No pun intended, bear it. But he would rather do that than start anything in the locker room, than call out another guy on the coaching staff. That's a classy guy. That's a true leader. And that's why I know, and we talked about it yesterday, I know DJ Moore gets a little sad sometimes when the ball doesn't come his way. I still think at the end of the day, this team is willing to absolutely go to war for Caleb Williams, and I think they will for Thomas Brown as well. I'm excited. It is funny to think that Caleb Williams just bashing through the Matt Eberflus incompetence every week, almost winning all these games, is what got him fired. He literally the only thing holding them back from winning some of these games was just Matt Eberflus existing on the sideline. It's craziness.
So Matt Eberflus during his NFL career has been a part of 30 blown games by a defense. Do you want to know how many came as a Chicago Bears head coach?
Yes.
Take a guess first.
14.
16.
Wow.
Over half of the blown games that he has been as a Chicago Bears head coach. It needed to happen. It absolutely needed to happen. Tony, before we get more into today's show, we have over almost 800 people in here. Shout out to everyone for joining for the breaking news of Matt Eberflus being fired. Quickly, before we get into today's show, to celebrate, we are giving away a custom Chicago Bears jersey because now we actually want to wear them again. Because the team is making moves. If you want to enter, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment on the video. And as we were saying earlier, just if you're happy about Matt Eberflus being fired and the Bears making the decision, hit that like button on the video, comment bear down in the live chat, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit 21,000 subscribers. We're 299 away right now. Let's hit 21,000 subscribers to celebrate, Tony. Tony, want to go a little bit more into just how bad the Bears have been with their coaches. And this is just absolutely insane. The Bears' last 3 coaches have been Matt Eberflus, Matt Nagy, and John Fox. The combined record during that time for them, keep in mind, you're not going to like this, is 62 wins. You ready for the losses?
Yeah.
So bad. And 97 losses. 97 losses. The Bears have had 2 playoff seasons in the last 10 years, 2018 and 2020. And come on. And if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think the Bears would have made it because there was so much going on there that
it was that first year of the 7-team playoff, whatever, 7-team per conference playoff too. It's the only reason we got in that year. Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it. It's Tony, give me your thoughts in chat. We're going to go through the chat in a little bit here in a second. But Tony, give me your thoughts of when they should have fired Matt Eberflus.
Well, they should have fired Matt Eberflus this offseason probably because although we're happy it finally happened, we are still in the cycle of drafting a rookie quarterback, keeping a coach for a year or at least some time, and then firing him, and then having to bring in a new guy to take over for for that rookie quarterback. So they definitely should have fired him in the offseason, and if not, it should have been after that Patriots game. Because that's what Washington, Arizona, Patriots. I think that was the thing.
Washington, Arizona, New England, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit.
Green Bay would have already been overdue. But Green Bay, you can't lose to Green Bay like that. If George McCaskey's really a fan, we're a charter franchise in the NFL. We've been fighting the Green Bay Packers our entire existence. He should have been fired then and there on the spot as soon as Cairo Santos got that field goal blocked. But that's what I think.
And it's the fact that Cairo Santos kicked it from the wrong hash on top of it. That wasn't even the hash that Cairo Santos kicks from usually. So Matt Eberflus I feel like he knew he was out and he was just doing everything to kind of flip the bird to the franchise. He still gets paid 2 more years of his contract. Like he signed a 5-year contract. George McCaskey has to chew $16 million over the next 2 years. And just keep in mind, George McCaskey, $16 million to him is 0.02% of his total net worth. So I don't think he's hurting too much. And we make him that much money sitting watching TV every single week. I mean, Tony, I just want to, let's go to the chat. You know what? Let's see how the chat's feeling about this one. Because, man, we got over 700 people in here right now. Everyone keep commenting your thoughts on Matt Eberflus being fired. But Tony, after this, I want to go into who you would want the Chicago Bears to. Oh, our good friend Swift Sports Network is in here. The McCaskies have to go. Do you think that the McCaskies do need to go, Tony? Like, do you think they need to sell the franchise after this embarrassment?
Yeah, they've had to sell it probably for years now at this point because it is. And I know we're happy now and it's all, we have the whole world ahead of us, and this is the answer. This is what's going to solve it, and I hope it does, and I do believe in Thomas Brown and Caleb Williams. But at some point, you got to look at the common denominator, which has just been the McCaskies just messing it up year after 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 year. So yes, I do I do still think they should sell the team. All I ask is that they don't hire another Matt. If they're going to go away from Thomas Brown, we can't do 3 incompetent Matts in a row for head coaches. I think, I don't know. That's no Matt Patricia. No, I don't really have another Matt off the top of my head, but no more Matts.
No. I mean, Matt LaFleur would be great. But
yeah, okay, I guess
not leaving Green Bay.
Yeah, that was a good exception. Okay.
The other thing too, is that I think the McCaskies need to take complete blame for this entire disaster because of the fact that the Bears have been such a, how do I put it? I mean, it's the historic franchise. It is a historic franchise, no doubt. I mean, we're the oldest franchise in the NFL. The problem that I have with the McCaskies is that they are sticking to their old ways and they're not football people. They're business people. George Halas was a football guy. That's why he started the NFL. But I think that the next part of this entire situation is the McCaskies have to look at themselves in the mirror and go, this is the 3rd coach we have fired in the last 6 years. Keep that in mind. 6 years. We have fired 3 coaches in 6 years. There are teams, the Packers have coaches stay for 10 plus years. Other historic franchises with respect.
Mike Tomlin's been there my entire life.
Mike Tomlin's been there for 20 is it 21 years now? And he has 20 winning records. He's never not had a winning record as a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. And that's another thing too, is that I really think that Thomas Brown gives kind of that Mike Tomlin vibe to him. Like the intensity, the seriousness, everything about him does a fantastic job. So
like Tomlin's been there 17 years, almost 20, which is still insane.
But he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yep.
2 Super Bowls with the Steelers, and he's made the playoffs almost every single year. Almost every single year. He's at least had a winning record during that time, every single time. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. If Kyle Shanahan gets canned by the San Francisco 49ers, he's like the new Andy Reid. And he could just needs a change of pace and come to the Chicago Bears. But I'd want him to keep. But now that Thomas Brown has been the head coach, can you demote him back to offensive coordinator if you bring someone else in, or is he going to go try to be a head coach somewhere else?
I think he could go try to be a head coach somewhere else. It depends. It really depends on the rest of how this season goes, because again, we haven't seen him actually be a head coach yet. He could make the same mistakes, similar mistakes as Eberflus down the stretch. He could be, not now he is in charge of calling timeouts and in charge of everything, the whole team. This is a big tryout for him. If he does well, I'm fine with sticking with the internal guy at this point.
You have to.
Kyle Shanahan would rule, obviously. There's no way that the 49ers let him go. There's no chance. Who are they going to get? There's no better. I mean, unless they get Thomas Brown, I guess that would be a better option, maybe. But we'll swap. We'll trade. We'll trade coaches.
You want to send Thomas Brown to the San Francisco 49ers a week of Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, they'll give us a third for our great coach, and then we'll take the guy that we're going to fire anyway.
So just to put it in perspective, that means that Caleb Williams would have 3 different play callers in his first full season, or 365 days as Chicago Bears head coach. Franchise quarterback.
It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter. Yeah,
matter. Tony fans or chat. I want to hear what everyone's saying right now, because we still got 600 people in here. Is anyone drinking? That's my question. Is anyone having a drink right now? I will go get a beer if I know that someone in the chat is also drinking with me, because we got to celebrate. Tony, quick little beer, quick little commercial break. We'll go get a beer and drink with everybody.
Down.
Okay. So everyone, make sure. So we're going to take a 10-second commercial break and go get some beers. Everyone go grab a beer, jump in the chat with us, and let's have a good time. We'll be right back. Tony, 30 seconds. You got a beer near you?
Yep.
Okay. Be back in 30 seconds, guys. Don't go anywhere. All right, well, I'm back in time because guess what, guys? Today's show is sponsored by Freshie Organic Tequila Seltzer. We're having a drink. If you guys are having a drink, raise it up high. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. Tony might be taking it up. There he is. Wow, that was a quick beer for Tony. Holy shnikes.
I'm back.
Well, guys, we don't drink here on Just Another Year Chicago Bears unless it's a special occasion, and we're drinking right now. Tony, are you drinking a Freshie too, or you got a beer?
I'm out of Freshie. I've drank them all already. Got to restock.
All right, well, that's fair enough. Let's see how everyone's doing right now. We got a couple people in the chat right now saying that they're drinking. We got some drinkers right now with us. We got THC gummies in there. We got I'm drinking from our good friend Phil. Amos, no Freshies in Indy. Darn, no, I got to send you some. But everybody, let's raise your glass, raise whatever, anything. Let's have a quick cheers, because guess what? The Bears have made their first firing of a head coach in the middle of the season. Listen, the last thing that I want to say before we totally have it. Oh, I still have to drink this. Sorry, guys.
I debated popping a bottle of champagne even for the special occasion, but Eberflus doesn't deserve that. Thomas Brown does, but I'm not going to waste that on something that should have happened 5 weeks ago. It should have happened in the offseason.
You know what? I quickly want to announce, though, because we have a very exciting partnership that we would like to share with everybody, is that I see some THC gummy people in here, and we have a Black Friday sale going on right now with our partners, Cornbread. Cornbread, the USDA certified organic and made in the U.S. THC gummies, are offering free shipping and 30% off your first order. Go to cornbread.com and use code JAYCHI to get 30% off your first order. On top of it, free shipping today and only today on Black Friday. Don't you guys worry. We got your back with all the best deals. But guys, Matt Eberflus is freaking fired. And if you haven't already, hit that like button if you're happy about it, and comment bear down and what you're drinking in the chat. And overall, Tony, what a day. What a day. His history was made today for the Chicago Bears firing Matt Eberflus.
The amount of people in this world, in the existence of history, that have come and gone in the time that the Bears have not fired a coach midseason. What a time to be alive. It finally happened. Again, charter franchise of the NFL. I can't believe we went 100+ years without ever doing, because we've had some stinkers. We've had some absolute stinkers of coaches. But that does prove how badly Matt Eberflus absolutely screwed up this team. That the Bears broke literally their longest running tradition just to send him out the door and promote Thomas Brown to head coach.
I'm happy about this too. I think that Thomas Brown, watch him win. What would that be? That'd be 5 games in a row. Watch him win 5 games in a row. Just watch. Why not? Why not? That's all I got to say is that why not shock the world? Thomas Brown, could you imagine the Bears have a 4-game winning streak during this, or I'm sorry, a 3-game winning streak during this season, and then they get a 5-game winning streak ending the season at 9-8. Could you imagine, with all the drama, and this is the craziest season we've ever had covering the Chicago Bears, but it's a good time. I think that the Bears are always going to get the over now on yards. I think Caleb Williams always going to get more than 250 yards passing. And also on top of it too, if Thomas Brown sticks as his offensive coordinator for the rest of the season, or if Thomas Brown continues to do what he's done with Caleb for the rest of the season, Caleb Williams will finish with 3,900 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and 560 rushing yards. Incredible. I mean, dude, come on. Tony, do you think Caleb can break 4,000 yards now that Eberflus is out of the picture?
That extra game that they added a couple years ago, I mean, I think there's a chance. You also, with the remaining schedule, I know, going 5-0, that's a tall order. We could beat the Niners are in the dumps right now. We have a little mini bye playing on Thanksgiving. What'd you say? We lost by a combined 7 points to all divisional opponents so far. We play all 3 of them again. The Seahawks, I mean, they're first in their division, I think, but they stink. There's a real possibility, at least 4-1. I think at least 4-1. Is that crazy?
I think we're going to beat Green Bay. I'm going to say it right now. The Bears are going to beat Green Bay.
Yep.
I think they can beat Minnesota. They proved that they can beat Minnesota. They've also proved they can beat Green Bay. Detroit in Chicago, though, why not the Bears? They're going to go 3. Watch Thomas Brown go 3-0 against the NFC North and send a message and be like, you have one less thing to worry about. Make me your head coach. Give me. And also the other thing, too, is that I think they'll be able to. No, they'll probably end up paying him more than Matt Eberflus, right? You think they would pay him more?
No, probably not. I think they'll be scared to do that. I think they'll find a way to pay him a little bit less. They should, though. He deserves it.
Tony, quick question for you is that if you think of any head coach in the NFL right now, who would you compare Thomas Brown to?
Oh, wow. Put me on the spot here. I would say that I would compare him to, oh man, do you have one off the top of your head? I would love
Mike Tomlin and Sean McVay are my 2.
Ooh. All right. I'm gonna steal your Sean McVay one. I think that's an interesting one. The way that he has truly unlocked everything about Caleb Williams. I mean, that is what Sean McVay is. Remember when they swapped Jared Goff for Matt Stafford, and it was kind of just like a not garbage for garbage. Jared Goff took him to a Super Bowl. Matt Stafford is a good quarterback. We know that, but it was kind of like things aren't working out here. What are we going to do? He is what he's been able to do with a 30-plus-year-old quarterback. I do think Thomas Brown has that genius offensive ability in him to make it possible to unlock Caleb Williams and make him a superstar. He already is on his way to being a superstar, but
Caleb Williams is the real freaking deal.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Check this out, Tony. Our good friend, Relentless Mike, he broke open a new bottle of Weller bourbon to celebrate this moment.
Hey,
shoot.
I should have grabbed some wild turkey. Not as cool, but it would have still been nice.
Damn. Hey, Mike, is that an open invite to drive over to your place tonight? Because I thought about going out to your neck of the woods. Tony's coming too. But bro, that'd be crazy. Okay. I want to see the Bears odds now I want to see if they opened up any lines. I'm curious to see maybe on DraftKings how many games that Thomas Brown can win over the next couple games. So we got some people in the chat going. Chat, here's a question for you. I want everyone to post how many games in the final 5 games of the season do you think that the Bears will win under Thomas Brown? Tony, how many games do you think he's going to
win? Through the rest of this season, or are we taking any future seasons into account? What are we?
Future season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, no. The rest of this season.
Just the rest of the season. Okay. All right. That's a little bit easier. We beat San Francisco. We beat the Vikings. We beat the Seahawks. I do think Detroit probably gets us again. Although indoor cats outside in the cold. I don't know. I'd set the line at 3.5, and I'm going to take the over. I think it's 4.
You know what? I'll do 4 too. I think that the Bears are going to lose.
Chat doesn't seem to be as confident as us, but
they're rolling in. We got lots of people saying that they're going to win.
They're rolling in. Okay.
For those that are just joining, obviously you saw the title. Matt Eberflus has been fired, and Thomas Brown has taken over as the Chicago Bears interim head coach for the rest of the year. First interim head coach in franchise history. Just keep that in mind. All right, come on, guys, be realistic. Well, there's not 6 games left. There's only 5 games left. So you can switch that to 2 and 3 if you want to, Christopher. Wait, never mind. He switches to 1 and 4. The remaining 5 games, we got 4 and 1. All 5 are winnable based on their performance in the last 3. Great comment there. Mark saying 3 and 2. Mike is saying 4 and 1. Mike, if you have 2 more shots of that bourbon, you're going to say 5 and 0. I know you too well. But the Bears are drafting a Super Bowl champion. Okay. Also, did I see that today is Ron S.'s birthday somewhere in the chat? For some reason, Santana said it, but oh no, it's not Ron S.'s. It's our good friend Ron W. Happy birthday to Ron W. Happy freaking birthday from the Chicago Bears. Also, guys, the Chicago Bears, as crazy as this is, they're having a 65% off Black Friday sale on their website right now if anyone actually wants to go out and buy gear again. But this is what I want to say. Still don't go out and buy Bears gear. Prove to the McCaskies they need to continuously make more and more changes like this, and they should absolutely fire themselves as the owners of the Chicago Bears. Thoughts, Tony?
I couldn't agree more. I have some thoughts on Kevin Warren too, but we could save that for another show.
Absolutely. But quickly before we leave today, guys, to celebrate this beautiful moment in Chicago Bears history, Tony and I are giving away 2 custom Chicago Bears jerseys this week to 2 lucky subscribers. All you guys need to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment bear down in the live chat. Tony, any final words on the breaking news of the Chicago? Wait, hold on a minute. Gotta look at this comment. Going to open a bottle of 2003 Camus Reserve wine. Joseph R., let us know where you're at. We're going to come there right now. But Tony, any last comments before we close out today's show?
So I said it at the opening. I'll say it again for anyone that's joined late. Ding dong, the witch is dead. It's officially Black Friday in the NFL, or in the Chicago Bears organization, both positively and negatively. Negatively for Matt Eberflus, he's out of here. Positively because, man, we are. It's a great deal we got. I don't know. That kind of fell apart, but either way, I'm happy. It's a good day. We finally did it. Charter franchise finally broke the tradition of just keeping around mediocrity, losing the locker room. I'm excited. Thomas Brown, win us some football games, baby.
And also, just to quickly announce, we're very excited to share that we are officially under 300 people away from 21,000 subscribers. Insane. Thank you guys for the support. We'll keep bringing you the latest Bears breaking news at all times. But Tony, thank you for logging on. And thank you guys all for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody. And as always, bear down, baby.